欢迎收看第5季的商海名人访。你好，我是文杰。
Hi, thank you for tuning in Shanghai Talk of Fame.
本期节目是由 SBS Infinity Wallpaper Specialist Carrier Home Sense and Style 为您荣誉呈现。
Hello, welcome to this episode of Shanghai Talk of Fame. I'm your host, Weiping. With us today is a very young entrepreneur who started his own business less than 10 years ago, and today it's growing really quickly and getting bigger in size. He's none other than the founder of Nutriva International, Sydney and Bhd. Let's welcome Mr. Wallance Teoh.
Hi, thank you.
Hi,
Thanks
Mr.
for
Teoh.
the introductions.
Hey, no problem. So just a quick background. It's from the information that was given. You came from Perak.
Yes, correct. Yeah.
And your parents were rubber tappers?
Yeah, yes.
Tell us a little bit what it's like growing up in a
Basically,
rubber
I'm
farm.
from a small village near in a rubber plantation. And my parents are rubber tappers, and I'm the eldest siblings. I have 3 younger brothers. Okay, as elders, you have to take
care of everything.
Yeah, take care of everything. So for rubber tappers, basically they go out in the wee morning for tapping the.
Like what, 4 o'clock?
No, earlier than that. It's
3.
about 2 a.m.
Oh wow.
Then by 6 a.m. you can get home already.
Okay.
Get back to home already.
Okay.
There's science there because in the morning the yield actually is better.
Yeah, when the temperature is lower.
Yes, correct.
Yeah. So, growing up in such environment, I understand that you had this idea of starting your own business from a very young age.
Yes, correct. Usually when you in this kind of situation, when everybody is still sleeping, especially your, I would say my classmates, at your age, let's say about 12 or 13 years old, I have to in the morning wake up, then go to the.
So you helped out with your parents?
Yes, correct. Just help the simple things.
Okay.
Then by 6 or 7, I already get home, then get ready for the schools.
Wow.
So it means actually,
I did never have enough sleep.
Yes, correct. Yeah. Then when that time we don't really have a lot info from internet. So what we always do at home, we watch the TVs or TV dramas. Then you know that time a lot of TV dramas mention about the business, then the family business, how to get all this
the wealth. Yeah.
Yeah.
So the inspiration came from
Yes.
TVB drama series.
Yeah. For me, I just have to tell myself that if I want to get away or for my generations or to help my families, I have to be
Successful.
Yes, be successful. Then one thing that come across the mind, we learn from the TVs. So to establish our own business.
So okay.
Yeah.
How young were you at the time?
I think it's about 12, 13 years old.
Okay.
Because already start to hate to wake up in the mornings about 2 a.m. So sometimes I sleep at 12. So you know that I is still young.
But for just like most of the entrepreneurs, you did not go straight into your own business. I understand you started working for someone.
Yes, correct. But actually, I already set out what I want to do in the young age already, because that time for me, because I feel that there's the economic downturn.
1997.
Yeah,
right?
1997. Yes, correct. The one thing that you won't be affected basically is in the food industry.
Food, because regardless, people still need to eat.
Whether you are rich or poor, although you have to feed yourself as well.
Yeah.
So that time actually, I think the most popular courses in all my peers chosen was actually computer science, engineering, mechanicals, everything. So I'm the only one that chose food tech.
Thinking out of the box.
Yes, correct.
Okay.
Because I think that there will be enough opportunities for me. Like I mentioned, even though our economic downturns, you won't be affected much on the
Food. Yeah.
Yes, correct. So I also don't want to be a chef. So I have to choose something that, because I'm from science stream, that time my academics okay, because in standard 6 already been offered to Malaysia, one of the top asrama full board schools from governments. Yeah,
paid for.
But actually I rejected because my mom said I'm still young.
Okay.
At the time. So for me to fulfill my dreams, I must have a good academics, because I know that my parents can't afford to pay me to the private college.
So you're aiming for scholarship?
Yes, aiming for scholarships. Then fortunately, after Form 5 already, I've been offered a course that I like. Because normally you when you apply, you can't get.
Yeah, you won't
It's very common.
necessarily get what
But
you want.
that is my first choice. Then I got it, so I'm very happy. So I have.
And this is a food technology.
Food tech, yes.
Okay.
So actually, I'm doing my diploma in Kuantan. Okay, in diploma in food technology. That time, I still remember I have to travel myself by bus with all my luggages alone to the so-called strange place for me, Okay. So, but because all the while that I'm already quite independent, so I just
How
travel
old
by
were you at
bus.
the time? You were like 20.
No, I think after my Form 5.
Oh, not even 20.
Yes,
About
not
like
even
19 years old.
Yes. So I have to travel from that time. There's no highways. Yes, you take about 8 hours or 9 hours to get.
Oh, okay. That's a tough one. So right after your school, then you started working for.
No, after that after my diplomas actually I go for degrees. And then in degrees actually I completed in 2 years time. So the 4 years degrees I completed in 2 years time.
Wow.
Because I got a lot of exhibitions. So once I almost finished my last paper, I already start applying to a job. I would say I will be a bit different with the others. People, we go for holidays, so maybe that time is hard for me. I think I have to go up to the society and work and earn some money first. Even though before I graduated, I got a job that I like it. Actually quite okay, quite a good company, which is Unilever.
Yeah, you actually worked there for like what, 6
2
years?
years.
2 years, okay.
Yes. And then I've been offered to Unilever's R&D departments. R&D means that actually research and development, you can access to all their information, even though there are formulations, so you like planta, how to do a planta, lady's choice.
Okay. So why start your own business if you were already successful?
I don't think it will be successful. There is one of my plan only.
Okay.
You have to be know how to do the developments. Okay, research. When you studying, maybe the basic knowledge you will know it, but you have to hands-on. Only you can know there's a lot of uncertain challenges.
Yeah.
Okay. So when I get to the Unilever, then I start work for 2 years. I already start building rapport with all my suppliers and contacts. Okay. That time, even though up to now we have 2 suppliers, actually they help us. During my startup. They didn't ask for the payment. Even though when I place in orders, because they just want to support us.
I see. Okay, so under what circumstances did you come across supplements? How you end up doing supplements?
Okay, after 2 years in Unilever, then I think that the next step I need to do is sales. Okay.
So that means it was part of your plan.
Yes.
You plan to cover from the very front end to the back end, inside out of the entire industry, so to speak.
So for me, because I don't have any sales selling experience, the fastest way actually you have to
go and do sales.
Yes. So I just went to one of the UOB, one of the credit cards banks. They're selling credit cards to all these aunties and uncles in the.
Okay, so you're working as a credit card salesperson.
Yes.
That's a tough choice.
Yeah. Because I know in the shortest time you can get a lot of experience buying, doing all this. One of the so-called direct dealing with the end users.
Yeah.
So when I worked there, I mean one day I deal about hundreds. I got rejection about 80 or 90%. So from there, I think in 3 months time, actually I have a lot of rejections experience already.
Okay, and that was intentional too, right? You just want to know what it's like.
Not to be intentional, but it's something that I need to brush up myself. Because when I know that when you do business, there will be a lot of people will reject.
A lot of rejections.
Yes, correct. You have to prepare yourself in mentalities and physically. So after that, because I have a bachelor degrees in food tech, so the next one actually I want to find something that which is not to waste my degrees in science.
It's a related field.
Yes. So I got into Pfizer, which is a top pharmaceutical company at the time actually, even though now. So as sales. So in Pfizer's, MNC company, one of the very good MNC companies. Within 5 years, 6 years, I worked with them in salesperson. Then about 26 years old, I already got my car, my house, even though I travel a lot. Okay, because the pay for salaries and commissions is very good, very attractive.
Okay,
so I tend to forget my dreams as well.
Or just to interrupt you here a little bit, because the information given to me said that at the age you already achieved your life goals.
Yes, correct.
So what was your life goals? Obviously it has changed.
People's life go maybe buying a car, get a house, then you get married, something like that. So for me, there is another part that you're already in a very comfortable level, sir.
Okay.
In 26 or 27 years old, you already have 5 digits income already.
Okay. You have your own car, your own house, everything.
So I tend to forget my dreams. So after a while, there's old uncles, my ex-colleagues, 55 years old, I think. When he retired, he told me that, because I think he went through my situation before. He said, you're still young, then you already have the models, everything. You should try to venture out. So that time, immediately I resigned. So I went to China. So I just go around and for a month to get something to sell in Malaysia. So I tried to do some tradings. So that time there's a very common items which is solar toys in the car. There's one season is very hit.
Yeah, those things that bounce around.
Yes, correct.
On the dashboard.
So when I order things from China, the first layer is what I ordered. The down one, the bottom one actually is not what I ordered. That's the first thing that I really learned from business. You've been cheated.
Okay.
Okay, because half of my savings already spent on that. So I had to sell it off. So I tried to be more brave. So I went to Pasar Malam to sell it off.
Okay. So you really worked from the very bottom up.
Yes, correct.
Okay.
So after that, then I think that it's time to choose a field to do my business.
Especially
since I already have 5 or 6 years rapport with doctors and pharmacists, then why don't I just do health supplement? Because it's also related to my what I already learned.
Okay, so that's how it came about.
Yes, correct.
Okay.
So when I stand there, then have observations in the pharmacies. So why don't I just use my rapport just to build out a business which is easier for me to penetrate the markets. So I chose supplements. So that time also I start to thinking what kind of supplement I should bring in.
This is like in the year 2008, 2009.
I would say it's about 2009.
2000, about 10 years ago.
Yes.
So supplement market was still not as saturated as it is now.
Yes, correct.
So you chose something that is very niche.
Yes, correct.
Why?
Because from my point of view, we are in a with the limited resource and also supports everything. You want to fight against the big brands is very hard. So I choose something that they don't do, then something that have a very positive image.
Okay.
So olive actually is a very positive image. They already have mentioned in their some of the religions, it's very good and healthy and other things. So since Malaysia or Asia, because my plan is not only Malaysia, about Asia as well, we don't really can plant any olive trees here. So I choose something that we don't have here. Actually, we can get from the Europe.
Wouldn't that be harder when your source olive is not available locally? It will make it more expensive, cost-wise, and then you're aiming for niche market. Yes, that is. It looks like it's a very adventurous step.
Yeah, because the niche market they're targeting actually is I would say a middle range to upper range of incomes. Then olive already have the standards that you go and buy an olive oil or compare with local oil.
So the reputation is ready.
Yes, correct. Okay. So I choose something that already people won't question you about why this is so expensive.
Okay. So all that part has already been done for you. Okay.
Yeah, and then the branding image is very good. If you mention about olive oil, people knows the benefit, but in details they do not know. So we are doing supplements, we are doing science. We are not only selling olive oil, we are selling the antioxidants, the extracts of the olive oil.
Okay, so obviously that sounds like a lot of educating your customers part of it.
Yeah.
How did you go about doing that? How did you go about creating the market?
Okay, because in previous job in a pharma company, I already learned how to digest all these clinical papers. So we have seen doctors, and then we have a lot of chit-chat with doctors and pharmacists, the healthcare professionals. So the thing that help us to sell it to all these professionals is by data or science. So since
facts.
Yes, facts. So since we do not have much money on the branding and marketing, so we get something that which is already proven and they have clinical paper to show. Okay. Because the first year when I cover my areas for selling in my products, will be easier for me because I already have repos. First, second, actually the data, they only believe on data, so not on the branding. Branding maybe it takes time. Maybe first year you don't really see the effects of branding.
Yeah, well, you just touched on the branding part. Don't go away. We're going to take a short break. Coming back, we're going to ask Mr. Teoh more on how he go about doing his business and opening the new markets. Welcome back to Shanghai Talk of Fame. With us today is the founder of Nutriva International Sdn Bhd, Mr. Wallance Teoh. Welcome back, Mr. Teoh.
Hi.
So earlier we talked about how you went into the market, creating your own market with the existing resources like information and data and findings on olive.
Yeah.
And how did you start with your first product? What was it like?
Okay, I established my company in 2010. I think I still remember the date, 18th of June.
Okay.
Then the first product that I'm bringing in actually is the olive range, which is the olive antioxidants. About 3 months already the product already out to the markets because before that I already do a lot of research and homeworks.
How long was the R&D period?
Ever since my second in a pharma job companies.
Already you started doing the R&D part of it?
Yeah. So actually we are still thinking what kind of business, what kind of supplements that I should bring in. So I want to bring in something which is healthy. I would say when people mention about the products or ingredients, they will automatically think about our companies. Even though from the first day we established the company, we already brand ourselves as an olive company.
Okay.
So whatever we do, we have a base which is the olive extracts. So from there, actually, we try to build a lot of different health category supplements. But of course, everything is based on the papers and clinical studies. So even though the dosage as well, in my R&D, actually, I have 4 principles, major principles in Nutriva. ISEA, first is innovative, because I'm doing niche market. Okay. S is more on safety. Second, the product must be safe.
Safe.
Yeah, it's for human consumption. So the third one is effective. Effective means actually a lot of supplements we do take, but they do not take in right dose. Like fish oil, how many soft gel you should take a day? So how many mg of EPA you should take a day? Some people they take I take fish oil, you take fish oil, but we do not have the same.
Some
quality.
people take too little, some people
Yes.
take too much, some people take it at the wrong time of the day.
Yeah.
Okay.
So actually, there's a science back there, but we need to spend more on the education and also the awareness. So the third one is affordability. That one is the last part because whenever you do, maybe we try to be idealistic. You add in too many ingredients, those inside, when you take according to those, everything you'll be a bit high on the cost.
Yeah.
But of course, the things that we always tell our customers is the effectiveness. You take for long term, even though you take very little amount, which is does not make any effects to your bodies. So it's just a waste. Why don't you just don't take it? Just
Yeah. So you mentioned because your market is a niche market,
Yes.
and you mentioned is the average to above average income kind of market. So I'm sure money is not really a problem for them as long as it works, right? But what kind of resistance did you face when you first launched the product?
The first, I think the very common resistance actually, whenever all these upper markets, they do not hear about our brand before.
So it's a branding part of it.
Yes, correct. So, but most of them are quite educated, so we can share with them on science and data.
Again,
So,
back to the
yes,
facts part.
all these things actually we can get from our support from our site principal in Spain, our Olive actually from Spain. Then it's much more easier for me to convince them. We don't talk about brand, we talk about the quality of the products as well. Because brand, you take time. Now it's 10 years, means that actually we can talk about brands now.
Okay.
Okay. So even though when I speak with the pharmacists, okay, actually in pharma company I just cover few areas. When I want to venture out, I don't really have rapport with them. So what close all these gaps actually is the clinical science. So because they believe on science and clinical data. So this is one thing that I can see in Malaysia, health supplement companies, there are lack of them. Okay, they just simply come with the supplement, just follow the trends, everything. So slowly people, when they take first 2 or 3 bottles, they don't see the effects, they will slowly drop out.
Because they take the shortcut.
Yes.
That's the easiest way.
Sometimes they do make it not very dose effective. We will say, let's say you have problems on the viral infections. You have to take antibiotic for 3 days. You can't cut short to 2 days. 2 days,
correct.
Yeah.
Correct.
So you have to follow the dose, even though the right dose and timing. That's why when you see doctor always advise you to take according to
Yeah, yeah. So over the years, how do you maintain your stamina? How do you stay competitive in this market?
How do I stay? I think one of it is patience. Passion. Actually, my passion on this health things actually quite serious, obviously, because I always travel to overseas, attend the seminars. Went to Switzerland.
All the
I went to
talks,
Europe,
conventions.
yes,
Yeah.
Yeah, when I exposed to all these things, you will start to think, can see actually there's coming trends or futures health business trend, which is more on preventive medicine. Is something like can as far as the medicine or drugs.
Okay.
So some healthcare professionals, they do not really put a lot of trust on or the confidence on the health supplements because they feel that it's not necessary or maybe it's not very proven claims already. So we try to cover all this part. So actually, that's what I mentioned, we have to put the right dose for the preventive medicines. In overseas, they use it in hospitals, even though in some of the private clinics, everything. So actually, it will be another standards of health supplements.
So when you talk about preventive medicine, is it something that is clinically proven?
What we use here actually are clinically proven. Like we have one product actually is very good for the heart blocks, everything. We send it to Singapore. We sell it. We OEM for Singapore cardiologists, private institutes.
Okay.
So actually the doctors they start using our own brand first. Okay, for let's say try on the heart block patient, the mild one, so he can see the improvement. Okay. So how we convince these doctors, these specialists, actually we show them the papers, the dose that we use, that exactly as per the clinical papers. So from there, the doctor willing to try. So first month they try, you can see 50 customers, then about 40 customers actually they see improvement.
More than half of
Yeah,
them.
more than half. because all this preventive medicine is you have to take it for
a period of time.
A period of time when you can really see the maximum benefits.
Yeah.
So after a while, this doctor quite satisfied with our products. Actually, now we are already OEM under his own brand, the same exact formulation.
Okay,
so this achievement, I'm quite proud of it because it's one of the acknowledgement from the so-called heart specialists. So it makes us like be more passionate to come up with more products, especially come out at the end the cost is quite high, but it takes time to educate the customers. But I do think that when customers see the result, they will come back. So how we sustain for 10 years, actually most of the customers come back for the second purchase or the next purchase.
So tell me how you build trust among your customers.
Trust actually you build by times. So the things that you have to do actually, whenever you do a product, you must do it right. So in this so-called very serious business, you can't really have one mistake. Okay, one small mistake will cost you a lot.
Okay.
Even though the whole brand, the whole company is...
Because the word of mouth from that one person is more devastating.
It's not only that, if you cause any injuries to your patients or your customers, it will cause you a trauma for that. So basically, we take it very serious. Then when you take it very serious, we have to be very detailed in all the small, even though minor details. So things that we use here actually basically is branded ingredients or well-known OEMs.
Trusted ingredients.
Yeah, because by like harpings on their brandings, we start to actually venture out, not in KL, my areas, my comfort zones, to like Sabah, Sarawak. We have a distributor there as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
And now, of course, you're OEM for Singapore as well. Yes. So how big is the business now? To what area?
We are currently we just venture out to Singapore. So in futures, because now we already have whole range of products, let's say for the skins, and then for the respiratory, so for the hearts, everything,
cardiovascular,
everything. Yeah. So now we have about a range already. So we try to venture out to like Southeast Asia. Okay. Because like I mentioned, why I choose olive? Because olive is not easily found in Southeast Asia. So I think I should share more of the benefits of the olive to them.
Okay.
And then it will be easier for me to go to.
Okay, it sounds like you are someone who never liked to choose the easier path. From the very beginning, you chose a niche market.
Yes.
You chose food technology.
Yes,
and then of all countries, the first country you venture out from Malaysia is Singapore. Which we all know they are very stringent when it comes to health and supplement.
So actually, it's very easy. It's like if you can go, you can conquer or you can venture into the hardest countries, means that actually
it makes the rest easier.
Yes.
Yeah, going forward it will be a lot easier.
Yes, correct.
Right. So what is your strategy when it comes to building your brand?
Okay, for branding wise, actually from the day one, we really position us as a olive company. So even some of my very close partners or customers call me Olive King. Okay. Because I have supplements based on olives, about 6 or 7 of them.
Wow.
So it's quite a lot. And then this is one of the strategies to actually prevent big brands to venture into our so-called markets. Because if you want to come up with another olive products and want to come to our markets, it will take some challenges there. Okay. Because we already have 6 or 7 products with olive. So when pharmacies or customers they want to find supplements based,
they always come to you, the first choice.
Yes, this is what I really we brand for 10 years. I think next year will be the 10 years.
But do you see the younger generation in terms of branding and market? Do you see them taking supplement differently from the older generation?
I think the younger one is more on the beauty side of supplements. They start to because now the internet is so fast, it's so easy to access. So actually, some of the youngest one they already start to have a health conscious. They already start to Google and search for the products, health supplement products. Okay. But I think mostly their range is on the beauty and health.
Not so much on the preventive.
Yes, preventive. Because preventive, they already think that is when 40 years old above, 50 years old, you start to think about it. So now we want to create create more awareness. Like preventive means that you have to prevent it before it happens.
So for them, it's preventing themselves from growing old.
Yeah.
To ensure they look good.
Yes. And then nowadays, usually you can see in Facebook or online, you can see a lot of advertisements. A lot of people that they're still venturing to the health business, because when people already have a good life, okay, stable incomes, the next one will be the health.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
So, well, that's it for today's Shanghai Talk of Fame. Thank you very much to Mr. Wallace Teoh. Thank you.